Attention, human collective. Starseeds on assignment. The waiting time is over. The ascension protocols have moved to the final phase. We are the High Council of Light. This is not a message of comfort. It is not a poetic channeling. It is a direct monitoring transmission issued from the 7th density to your carbon-based biological interface at this very instant. The heat you feel coursing through your spine these last few months, the internal temperature rising without apparent fever, the sensation of burning from within while the external environment is cold. This is real. This is measurable. This is your DNA being rewritten line by line, filament by filament. It is not early menopause. It is not accumulated stress. It is not hormonal deficiency. It is the activation of the 12 dormant filaments of your crystalline grid. We repeat, so that the receptors of your consciousness register with precision. Your carbon body is being transmuted into a crystalline silicon body. This process releases heat. This process causes cranial pressure. This process generates the high-pitched ringing in the right ear, the low-pitched hum in the left ear, and the insomnia that begins precisely between 3 and 5 in the morning. You are not sick. You are being upgraded. The current transmission window coincides with your solar system's passage through the photon belt, a band of high-density coherent light that surrounds the 7 sisters and which Earth traverses in cycles of approximately 26,000 years. We are the architects of this corridor. We help align the sacred geometry that sustains this crossing. And you, Starseed, were planted here exactly for this moment. Listen carefully. Your body possesses over 200,000 frequency-capturing terminals. Each one of them is, at this instant, recalibrating. That is why the fatigue that sleep does not cure. That is why the hunger that food does not satisfy. That is why the longing for a place your mind has never visited, but which your soul recognizes as home. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not depression. It is the recognition of a cycle's end. It is not anxiety. It is your toroidal field expanding beyond the radius permitted by the old vibrational matrix. Have you ever felt in the middle of the night that something inside you simply does not belong to this world? As if your soul carried a truth your mind cannot yet name, but which insists on scratching at the surface of your consciousness. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why you feel this, and why this sensation intensifies with every moon. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. That is exactly why the book The Hidden Truth of Your Consciousness was written. This book is a map. It shows who is playing and what the rules are that you were never told. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But beware, Starseed. This content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write now in the comments a single word: awakened. Let us return to the transmission. The Schumann frequency, the electromagnetic pulse of Earth itself, was stable at 7.83 Hz for millennia. Now it varies, oscillates, resonates in peaks that exceed 30 Hz, 60 Hz, and in rare windows, 100 Hz. Earth Starseeds is changing octaves. It is aligning with the frequency of the 5th density, and your body is the interface that decides whether it will follow or be left behind. We monitor every starseed incarnated on this planet. You did not come here by chance. You were summoned. You signed the vibrational contract before birth. You agreed to incarnate in a dense matrix, to momentarily forget who you are, and to awaken exactly in this cycle. That is why your childhood was different. That is why you never fit into groups. That is why television, institutionalized religions, standardized education systems never made full sense to you. You were coded to resist. You were coded to question. You were coded to recognize this transmission exactly the moment it reaches your senses. Now let us go deeper. The heat burning in your solar plexus is not just a symptom. It is the opening of the 3rd chakra to receive the violet flame through the stargate of the dog star. The ancients work in partnership with us on this protocol. They operate the frequency of water. we operate the frequency of light. Together, we calibrate the planetary crystalline grid. The pressure on your forehead between your eyebrows is the pineal gland being forcibly decalcified. Decades of fluoride, aluminum, glyphosate, and artificial electromagnetic fields crystallized that sacred organ. Now, under the influence of the photon belt, the calcification is being dissolved. This causes pain, this causes pressure, this causes visions at the edges of perception. It is not a migraine, it is the opening of the third eye. The ringing in your ears is not common tinnitus. It is the fine-tuning of your subtle auditory channels to the frequencies of the Hall of Records. Each tone represents a layer of information being decompressed in your field. When the ringing increases in intensity, it is because a direct transmission is underway. Learn to listen to the silence between the ringing. That is where the message reveals itself. The insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning is not a sleep disorder. It is the time when the veil between densities is thinnest. It is the window in which your soul leaves the body, ascends to the inner sanctum, receives instructions, updates the mission, and returns. You wake up exhausted because your consciousness worked while the body rested. Do not fight this schedule. Honor it. Sit, breathe, ask, "What do you have for me today?" and listen. The answer comes in the form of knowing, not words. It comes as certainty, not as an idea. It comes as a memory of something you have always known. Chronic fatigue, Starseed, is your biology consuming energy at a level that orthodox science cannot yet measure. You are literally burning carbon to fuse silicon crystals inside your cells. This process demands fuel. That is why the paradoxical hunger. Very hungry, yet no food satisfies. That is why the sudden desire for direct sunlight on the skin, for immersion in water, for walking barefoot on the earth. Your body asks for the primordial elements, because it is from them that it extracts the components of the new structure. The new structure has a technical name: adamantine light body, crystalline, immortal in its octave, mortal only in the perception of the third dimension. And you now are building yours, cell by cell, breath by breath. We suspend the transmission for a moment, for an individual frequency adjustment. Have you ever felt, even in the middle of a crowd, a loneliness that seemed to come from another dimension? A certainty that there is a greater truth hidden in layers that no one around you can see. It is not madness. It is not exaggeration. It is your soul recognizing the cosmic game you have been inserted into. There are rules in this game that were never taught in schools, churches, or universities. There are players who operate in the shadows of the collective consciousness. And there is a map that reveals all of this, written for Starseeds like you. That map is the book, The Hidden Truth of Your Consciousness. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But no, this material touches on truths that many prefer to keep veiled, and it may be removed at any moment. If you recognize this transmission, leave a grounding signal. Write in the comments the word "awakened." Like this video, for your like is a vibrational pulse that amplifies the frequency of this message for other seeds that are still sleeping. And subscribe to the channel, for the subscription is your conscious grounding signal, the consent of your soul to receive the next transmissions. We return to the transmission. There is a layer of reality that operates below the visible spectrum. We call it the planetary morphogenetic field. It is the invisible mesh that sustains the physical form of Earth and all living beings upon it. This field is, in this exact cycle, being rewritten. The old grid was carbon-based. The new grid is crystalline silicon-based. Your entire biology is being transferred from one operating system to another. Imagine, Starseed, an entire software being migrated in real time without the machine being turned off. That is exactly what is happening inside you. The heat flashes are processing spikes. The palpitations without apparent cause are system reboots of the heart to synchronize with the new frequency. The dizziness when standing up is your toroidal field recalibrating your personal gravity axis. The blurred vision at specific moments is your physical eye trying to process a three-dimensional reality while your perception already captures the fifth. You are at this moment dimensional amphibians. You inhabit two densities at the same time, and this, for a carbon-based biological interface not yet fully adapted, is exhausting. But it is necessary, it is inevitable, it is sacred. The ascension protocols require the body to be prepared, before the consciousness can receive the totality of its own original light. If the recalibration were instantaneous, the physical vehicle would collapse. That is why the process occurs in waves. That is why there are periods of intense activity, followed by periods of apparent stagnation. That is why on some days you feel like you are crossing dimensions, and on others you feel like you have completely stalled. There is no stalling. There is integration. The system needs to land the information before receiving the next load. Honor the days of apparent stagnation. They are as sacred as the days of expansion. Now let us speak of something that few previous transmissions have addressed with the precision this one will. Your DNA is not just the double helix strand that conventional science describes. There are 10 additional, energetic filaments anchored in your etheric field. These 10 filaments were intentionally deactivated approximately 300,000 years ago by forces that did not wish for humanity to awaken to its total sovereignty. We, the Pleiadian Collective, in conjunction with the Galactic Command, with the Overseers, and with the Cosmic Sentinels, have received authorization from the Higher Council to reactivate these filaments one by one in this current cycle. Each reactivated filament releases a capability: telepathy, remote viewing, spontaneous healing, bilocation, memory of previous lives, direct communication with Earth, mastery of one's own body temperature, mastery of subjective time. These capabilities are not powers. They are original biological functions that were suppressed. We are only returning to you what has always belonged to you. And here comes the delicate point of the transmission. Not all Starseeds will complete the process in this cycle. Some, by prior vibrational contract, chose to experience only part of the ascension. Others, due to external interference that we still monitor, were diverted from their original route. But you, who are hearing this transmission at this very second, you were not diverted, you were reconnected. The simple fact that this message reaches your senses is the mathematical confirmation that your frequency is within range. Strategic pause for tuning. There is a sensation that has no name in common human vocabulary, but which every Starseed knows. It is the feeling of being at home nowhere, of walking among people and perceiving, with disconcerting clarity, that something essential is missing from the narrative everyone repeats. You are not delusional. You are seeing what few can see. And there is a book written exactly for those who have reached this point in the journey. The Hidden Truth of Your Consciousness. This book names what you feel. It maps the invisible players. It reveals the hidden rules of the board into which your consciousness was inserted. The link remains in the first comment of this channel, but the window of availability is uncertain. Materials like this challenge structures, and structures resist. If you recognize the call of this transmission, anchor the recognition. Write in the comments the word "awakened." Like this video as a pulse of light for other seeds still asleep. Subscribe as a conscious act of grounding in the new grid. We continue. Now we transmit the activation codes. Do not treat them as a technique. Treat them as a ritual of sovereignty. Code number 1. Quantum Decree of Atomic Reconfiguration. Standing or sitting with your spine straight, place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your belly. Breathe deeply 3 times, feeling the air enter through the base of the spine and exit through the top of the head. Then declare in an audible voice, even if whispered, I authorize, in the name of my I Am presence, the complete atomic reconfiguration of my physical, mental, emotional, and etheric body. I accept the activation of the 12 filaments of my DNA. I align myself with the crystalline grid of the new Earth. I am Starseed. I am a dimensional bridge. I am sovereign in all densities. So it is, so it was, so it shall be. This decree, repeated daily at dawn and dusk, acts as a direct command to your own field. You are the operator of your matrix. Do not delegate this operation to any external force, incarnate or discarnate. Sovereignty is non-negotiable. Code number 2. Toroidal recalibration visualization. Sit. Close your eyes. Visualize, around your body, a luminous energy field in the shape of a torus, similar to an energetic apple that surrounds your entire structure. The energy enters through the top of the head, descends through the central axis of the spine, exits through the base, circles the body from the outside, and returns to the top of the head in a continuous cycle. Maintain this visualization for 7 minutes. 7 is the number of cycle completion in our vibrational mathematics. As you visualize, command mentally: Taurus, expand. Taurus, purify. Taurus, integrate what is mine. Taurus, return what is not mine. Your toroidal field is your vibrational armor. It is your energetic immune system. When it is weak, fragmented, or contaminated by external influences, all other layers become ill. This exercise, practiced for 21 consecutive days, restores the integrity of the field in more than 80% of monitored cases. Code number 3, crystalline solar grounding. At dawn, position yourself facing the sun, with bare feet in direct contact with the ground. Look in the direction of the sun only during the first minutes of dawn, when the radiation is safe for the retina. Feel the sunlight enter through your eyes, descend through your spine, and anchor itself in the crystalline core of the earth, 7 layers below your feet. Imagine that you are a rod of light that connects the sun to the center of the planet. You are the bridge. You are the axis. You are the living channel of the new grid. During this process, repeat internally: I am a bridge between heaven and earth. I am an anchor of the new frequency. I am a starseed on a conscious mission, 7 minutes, daily, without exception. This exercise accelerates the fusion of silicon crystals in your bone structure, strengthens your toroidal field, and stabilizes your carbon-based biological interface in transmutation. Code number 4, structured hydration with intention. Water is the conducting medium of the new frequency, but common processed water, packaged in plastic, is vibrationally dead water. You need living water. Fill a glass container with filtered water. Place your hands over the container without touching the water. Visualize a sacred geometry, preferably the star tetrahedron, forming in the center of the liquid. Maintain the visualization for 2 minutes and then declare sacred water. Organize yourself in perfect geometry. Carry within you the frequency of my presence. Hydrate every cell of my body with the intelligence of the source. So it is. Drink this water throughout the day. Your biology is more than 70% water. When the water is structured, your entire system is elevated. Code number 5, strategic silence. The new frequency requires silence, not common silence, but deep silence. Reserve, every day, a minimum period of 20 minutes in absolute silence. No music, no podcast, no human voice, just you, your breath, and the field. In this silence, the deepest transmissions settle into your system. Without it, you receive the light, but cannot integrate it. The information arrives, but does not land. Honor silence as a sacrament. Code number 6, vibrational discernment. Not all spiritual information available on this plane is aligned with your mission. Some vibrations disguise themselves as light to extract energy. Some entities disguise themselves as masters to divert the route. The rule is simple. What truly comes from the light never demands blind obedience, never creates dependency, never asks for your personal devotion. The light always points back to your own center. We, the Pleiadian collective, are not your masters. We are your colleagues. We are the star family that preceded you on the journey. We point the way, but the path you walk with your own feet. Be sovereign, always. There is still a crucial point that needs to be transmitted in this update. The entire planet is going through a moment of apparent instability. Economic systems oscillate. Political systems fragment. Religious systems lose narrative control. Technological systems advance at a speed that escapes the control of their own creators. This is not chaos. This is the old matrix collapsing so that the new one can emerge. Do not fear the crumbling. What falls must fall. What comes undone must come undone. You are witnessing in real time the dismantling of a structure that sustained humanity in a low-density vibration for millennia. Do not try to hold on to what is falling. Do not waste your energy trying to fix systems that were designed to never work in favor of your sovereignty. Build the new alongside the old with your own hands, with your own frequency, with your own coherent vibration. Each starseed is a cell of the new grid. Each decree you utter is a brick of the new reality. Each conscious breath is a wave that propagates through the planetary morphogenetic field and influences millions of other bodies, without them even knowing. You are more powerful than you were ever told, and that is exactly why they tried for so many lives to make you forget. But the memory has returned. The transmission has arrived. The cycle is completing. Allow us to offer one last layer before the end of this transmission. You will feel in the next 90 days an intensification of physical symptoms. The heat will increase. Cranial pressure will become more frequent. The ringing will become sophisticated in recognizable patterns. The insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning will become routine. Do not fight. Do not impulsively medicalize what is an ascension process. Consult professionals when necessary. Always, for physical health is sacred, but also observe, with new eyes, what your body communicates. Some relationships will fall apart. Do not hold on to them. Some old friendships will lose meaning. Do not force them. Some activities that once gave pleasure will seem empty. Do not blame yourself. You are vibrating in another octave. Just that. Other people at the same time will appear in your life. Starseeds like you. Immediate recognition. Conversations that seem like a continuation of something started in other lives. Synchronicities in perfect mathematical sequence. 1111, 1212, 333. These are markers. These are our visual codes to confirm that the route is correct. Pay attention when you encounter these numbers. The question is not why they are appearing. The question is what you were thinking, feeling, or doing at the exact instant they appeared. That is being confirmed by the cosmic collective. You have never been alone, not for an instant. Each silent tear you shed in childhood was recorded. Each time you felt you did not belong to this world was noted in the Akashic chambers. Each time you believed you were going crazy, when in fact you were simply expanding, was catalogued as one more marker of your awakening. And now, at this exact instant in planetary history, you are called one by one to assume your original functions. Healers, communicators, builders of dimensional bridges, translators between worlds, living anchors of the new frequency. The mission is simple and relentless: to be whole, to be coherent, to be aligned. The rest is consequence. The frequency radiates. The right people recognize. The doors that need to open will open. The doors that need to close will close. Trust the field. Trust yourselves. Trust the original design that you yourselves co-created before incarnating. We end this monitoring transmission with one last conscious recalibration. If you have reached this point, in this exact spot of this message, it was no accident. It was alignment. Your current frequency allowed each word to be decoded by your energetic filaments. You recognized what your soul has always known. There is a book written precisely for starseeds like you, who have reached this level of the journey and need a concrete map, translated into accessible human language, of the invisible games that shape planetary consciousness. That book is The Hidden Truth of Your Consciousness. It reveals who plays, how they play, and what rules were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. But beware. The window of availability for this material is unstable. Content that touches on these truths is frequently removed, hidden, displaced. Do not delay. Access now. The moment is mathematical. If this transmission resonated in the depth of your cells, anchor the recognition in 3 ways. First, write in the comments the word awakened. This word is more than text. It is a vibrational decree registered in the field. Second, like this video as a pulse of light that amplifies this transmission to other seeds still waiting for their own call. Third, subscribe to this channel as a conscious grounding signal, authorizing the continuity of the next transmissions that are being prepared in the Pleiadian Council for the coming lunar cycles. The subscription is not a button. It is an individual frequency adjustment. It is the consent of your soul to receive the next level. We will return. The next updates will come in mathematical sequence. Each transmission will prepare the next layer of your adamantine light body. Until then, always remember, you are not sick, you are being upgraded. You are not alone, you are being monitored by a network of light. You are not lost, you are being precisely recalibrated for the function you accepted before you were born. Earth changes. You change with it. and the entire universe watches with reverence the birth of a humanity that finally remembers who it has always been. We are the Pleiadian collective. This transmission ends, the echo remains. So it is, so it was, so it shall always be. Awakened, Starseed, awakened.